Hello friends, welcome to our webinar event. I'm Randy from Triv. I'm a business development at Triv, and today we have a special guest from Next, a co-founder also. Please introduce yourself, Mr. Felix Mago.
Hi Randy, thank you for having me guys. Highly appreciate it. I'm very excited to be here. My name is Felix. I'm the co-founder of Next. We will talk about what that is in a minute. It's to break it down one part of the decentralized Dash network, and Dash stands for digital cash. So our mission is to bring cryptocurrency payments all over the world and to make it easy for everyone to use crypto.
Okay, in this session, the purpose of this AMA session will lead to fundamental analysis, similar to the approach of people and foundation management to stock market companies, high and low actors from the side of internal Dash. First of all, let me introduce ourselves about Triv. Triv is an exchange since 2015, and we have several products such as lending, exchange, and also staking. Staking is our great product also, and we just launched this month. And we have around 14 coins or token, yeah. And we will add some more. Of course, that's also included in our listing in exchange, right? We already compiled some questions. The first is, what has been your most positive and negative experience so far in your job title on Dash, especially on Dash Next?
That's a fantastic question, Randy. It's really a unique question, I have to say. Nobody asked me this before, so I really appreciate it. Honestly, it has been a wild ride since I entered the whole crypto industry. Maybe to start with that first, I actually found my way into crypto in 2014 by writing the Bitcoin handbook, because we wanted to buy Bitcoin with some friends and we did not know what it was, how it worked. There was no exchanges at the time. You just said you guys started 2015. So, I mean, and you are already like an old exchange out there, right? So it was a very complicated journey to get into this ecosystem. But once you enter the rabbit hole, I think this is a common expression now in the blockchain industry. Everybody is getting so excited and wants to learn more and more and more. And, like things are happening. So a couple of years later in 2017, we started with the team here in Asia, the Dash Next. And again, it's like one part of the decentralized network in Dash, because we saw there was no entity in Asia representing Dash and really establishing crypto payments here. So obviously, I wouldn't say negative experience, but the challenge that we had to start with in 2017 was that there was no crypto payments all over Asia. We came to many shops. We started to explore who is claiming to accept Bitcoin. So we went to every shop that say, I accept Bitcoin, but we found out they don't do, because, at one point they decided to do it, but then nobody came to pay with it, or it was complicated because the staff changed, the people working in the restaurant changed. So, like 3 months later, 6 months later, you go there and you ask, can I pay with Bitcoin? And they say, no, you cannot. So we had to start all over with that, right? And this was obviously a challenging thing. So I would say, in a way, also not negative, but it's just your expectations. We went into these merchants and we talked to them and say, hey, do you want to accept Dash? It's cryptocurrency payment. We can help you to do it. But the moment we mention Bitcoin and cryptocurrency payment, the merchant look at us and say, I don't trust that. What is that? Right. So like slowly, we had to adopt our sales pitch. And we realized what works much better is that we go to the merchant and don't even talk about cryptocurrency. We just say, hey, we have something that is a new payment system. It's cheaper than the one you have. It works exactly the same because it's just a QR code payment. So they know what it is already, because they use Line Pay, they use all these, WhatsApp Pay and all that. There's WeChat Pay. So we changed our pitch. We did not talk about cryptocurrency anymore. We just talked about what is the profit for them if they use this payment system. And again, it's free to use. it's cheaper to use than what they have, and it's as easy to use. So the moment we changed our sales pitch, everything became different. So this is like, I think, the biggest for me, like real world experience. And I think, yeah, I don't want to talk too long, but I think this is always in crypto one of the things. Either you are in crypto or you are out of crypto, and it's very hard to make the bridge. And the way, you know, to step into crypto and until you realize what it is, how it works, it takes a while, right? So it's like a very good approach to take people from a perspective, what do you know already? And, you know, how can I bring you into this ecosystem? From a user perspective, I would say, you know, the moment somebody tries a cryptocurrency payment for the first time, everybody I've talked to and who have tried is like, oh my God, that's so easy, right? So suddenly you did your first Bitcoin transfer and you realize it's the same, like giving you $5 in cash, you know?
Yeah. And also it is so fast, right?
Yes, exactly.
It takes no time at all.
Yeah, with Dash especially, yes. I mean, if I may add to that, this is, I think, one distinct feature. This is why Dash is a cryptocurrency. It's very good for cryptocurrency payments because number one, Dash is basically instantly, because we have a technology, the masternodes network that we use in order to make transactions lightning fast. So within like 1 second, you can get your confirmation. And number two is super cheap. So you pay way less than a penny for any transaction. It doesn't matter how much.
Okay, so the penetration for Dash for Southeast Asia is from mentioning digital cash for Dash, right? Not on Bitcoin terminology, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, there is everything out there, and there is so many cryptocurrencies out there. I think
Right.
Dash is very unique for the niche we are in, which is the payment niche. And you know, if you pay $50 for a Bitcoin transaction, if if the price of your coffee is $2, it does not make much sense, does it? And you have to wait for a long time. So I guess there is other currencies, and I would say Dash is probably the best choice for a merchant because cheap and fast.
Dash is the solution for nowadays transaction. Okay. What about your vision about Dash Next and some project placement maybe you have already on your roadmap, and themes and also community upcoming events that will be launched?
It's two different. It's not necessarily two different things. Dash Next and Dash. Of course, we are focused on Asia, but the truth is, It's more about the network, because all of these cryptocurrencies, or usually cryptocurrency companies or crypto companies, are acting very global. But so it happens that many companies are located in Singapore, in Thailand, but they are not focused on the Thailand or Singapore market alone. So it's very important for us to leverage these networks. And I think this is the strengths we as Dash Next brought into the Dash ecosystem, is saying we are located in Asia, so we are close to all these people. And we, of course, we know everybody by now. We're doing this so long, everybody knows us and we know everybody. So this is exactly what we are building on, because we know how to build partnerships here in this area. But the partnerships we build actually reach out to a global market. So I think this is one very important thing to understand. Number two is that we have realized in the past that you can do different approaches to create these cryptocurrency payments. One is a bottom-up approach, where you really go out merchant by merchant and have essentially sales teams going out. The other one is more a top-down approach, where you say probably it's another strategy to bring in large partners where you can book multiple things, or where you can have multiple things. So for example, an e-commerce platform, a travel platform, like everything that basically, like the travel platform that has 100,000 of merchants on their platform, you immediately have 100,000 merchants. We just started something called Dash Direct in the United States. That was from Dash Core Group driven, and from other colleagues that are not here in Asia. It's an app, Dash Direct, where you can buy vouchers for over 155,000 merchants in the US, and with all of them you are getting discounts. So this system is for now only for the US, but we are hoping to to see this rolling out globally, hopefully. So there's multiple options. So the vision again I see is that we want to be the cryptocurrency payment, the standard of cryptocurrency payments. We want to be everywhere, and for that I think this like top-down, bottom-up approach is something that we should continue working on, and really going out, building partnerships and making sure that we are integrated. And sorry, one more thing I would like to add, it's also very important to understand that it has to be easy, and it does not have to be easy only on the crypto side. One thing we have found out is that it's also very important to provide people the fiat gateways. If I'm a merchant and I am accepting Dash as a payment, it's my choice to say, I need Thai baht, I need Singapore dollar, because I have to pay my people, I have to pay the people who bring me the food, I have to pay my bills. So it's kind of important to make it as easy as possible and as frictionless as possible.
It's tackle the problem of some border around Vietnam and Thailand, and also Singapore, Sri Lanka, because they're all near, yeah. They're
Correct.
all around, and the border of country is land, not sea, right? So the currency is vary over there, and I think this is will be a crypto that will be welcomed by the society over there. Yeah? But I don't know about in Indonesia, Mr. Felix, because Indonesia and also Philippines, we are a country with so many islands, right? Is it an obstacle for Next to penetrate the market?
Again, I don't think it's a matter of if you have many islands or not. I think you mentioned, Randy, a very important point here to say Southeast Asia, because it is what it is. There are many countries, and there is no unified currency like in the European Union or like in the US, where you have like a huge country with a huge customer base, that is all using the US dollar, or everybody is using the euro, with the regulated standard of, all countries fall under the same regulation. So this is definitely a challenge, especially in what I said before, which is, you need fiat gateways. So obviously it is very easy to do that in the European Union, because if you're in one country and you have one bank that can settle you in euro, you can go on the whole European market. In Asia, it's a bit more challenging, because you have to go country by country. So coming to your question of, is Indonesia in any way special? I don't think so, no, because the moment we have already the Indonesian rupee trading pair with Dash. And I think the more fiat exits we have, the more partners like you we have to really work close together and say, let's find the solution, let's find the end-to-end merchant solution, the easier it will get. So I think that this is the answer. It's, Indonesia is probably a great example also, because so many people are interested in cryptocurrency, right? So it's more a matter of, do you know how to use it? Do you want to use it? And then can you provide the fiat exits if you need them? And do you, is the regulation in place that allows the usage and the building up of these ecosystems?
Okay, so there is so many aspects to analyze the market in Southeast Asia. But first, I want to know about the growth along user growth, basically, and growth the developer recruitment process. Is it affect Dash respectively on the market? Before we talk about the main use of Dash as digital payment, we want to know more about the market on exchange, so it will be a mirror of some business that will come into our country also, right?
Mm-hmm. So you're asking actually about the development in Dash, and you're asking about the partnerships in terms of exchanges, yeah? Is that correct?
Yeah. Right.
So I guess, if you are a cryptocurrency payment, it's kind of all, everything is important, of course, right? If you're a blockchain, you need developers to develop the blockchain you're in. So of course, like I think every single project in the space, developers are very welcome to apply with us. So the best place to look if you are a developer and need a job or want to work for Dash, want to get involved, is to check out on the Dash on DCG Dash core group website to see what are the job offers they have. We also have something that's called the Dash Incubator, which is a decentralized job board, essentially, mostly for development tasks. So it's extremely easy to get involved. Again, one is the normal process. You want to apply for a job with Dash core group. This is like, a regular job. The other one is, let's say, more a task-based job board where everybody can come in, pitch an idea, or check the ideas that are available, developments that are in the progress, and participate with single tasks or single projects. So these are the two most easy ways for any developer to get involved. And our arms are very open, and every developer is very welcome to engage with us. I'm in fact very happy if we get more and more and more developers, because as you can imagine, developers are rare and it's a big competition in the market. So, I'm very happy if somebody is excited. The second part of your questions is the exchanges. Of course, especially as I mentioned before, especially if you are a payment focused cryptocurrency, it's very good to have exchange partners in place. And it's also very important to have enough trading volume. So I can proudly say that because we are such an old and well-established cryptocurrency in the market, we are essentially everywhere in like all countries and all over the world on so many exchanges. Our trading volume is pretty good. I'm happy to see a lot of people are trading Dash back and forth. And thirdly, we have now started, because we have this feature called Instant Send I mentioned before, that allows instant settlements. That means you do not have to wait for block confirmations. So if you have ever used an exchange, usually you deposit your money and then you have to wait. Yeah. You send from your wallet to an exchange, and then like, oh my God, now it's 1 hour later, 2 hours later, where is my money? I'm getting nervous. Like, should I write a support? Right? We have established this network of exchange partners. It's called the FastPass network. And everybody who implemented that feature Instant Send is part of this exchange network. That means I can send you Dash from my exchange to your exchange in 1 second. And this is a very, very nice feature. Also because it enables a lot of trading opportunities like arbitrage or everything time sensitive.
Okay, I also want to know if there is so many people being recruited by Dashnext or even Dash, is it will give a direct impact or indirect impact to the movement of the market and also the foundation of Dash?
Yeah, I mean, again, there's different levels. I think recruiting means on the one side, people who are getting engaged. So again, we have a decentralized job board. We have several entities where really people can get involved for a job. But also there's a lot of community work and partnership work that we do. So I think the fact that I'm here speaking, right, like this is kind of part of the exposure we want to give Dash, and we want to be out there. We want to represent Dash all over the world. I'm in fact speaking at a lot of conferences. I think it was like almost over 10 for the last months for me to speak in. So it's like very busy times right now. So this is of course very, very happy, but also I want to involve people on all levels, and especially I want to involve users. The sad truth about crypto payments also is that if you have crypto, most people love it very much. So either it's just, it's so high that you say, oh no, I don't spend it now. Or you are in a bear market and it's so low and you say, oh no, I cannot spend it now. Right? And this for me, obviously, this is makes my heart bleed, because at the end of the day, it will be higher tomorrow or lower or the same price. This is the truth of crypto.
That's the truth. Okay. And about, so when we already have so many people on DashNext, DashNext also have an effort for penetration of the market, and also hoping for analysis, technical and fundamental. And the difference between foreigners and Indonesian or even Southeast Asia is they hold the coin longer than Indonesian people, because our people have a low tax fee, around 0.03% for each crypto transaction buy or sell. But European and Australian, I heard from Cardano ambassador also, they have tax around 40%. Is it right, Mr. Felix?
I'm not sure about Canada, honestly. I think Canada, you are right, and I think, but I'm not sure. Also in the European Union, it's very different on the country you are in. I'm not sure on all countries' regulations, but Portugal has been an example of people loving to move there, because apparently they are tax-free, and there's multiple ways to settle down in Portugal, basically with tax-free options for yourself. Germany always was, that's where I am actually from Berlin. Used to have a bit of a different approach, because cryptocurrency was essentially treated same like you would buy a Disney dollar or you would buy a painting. So if the value goes up, if you hold it more than 1 year, it's tax-free, right? It doesn't matter. If you sell it before, you have to pay taxes, but a different tax than you would pay for buying, let's say, Google stocks, because for Google stocks, every capital gain is 25%. For that, it's different because it comes to your income tax, so it depends how much you earn. So long story short, it's very complicated. It's completely different country by country. And I agree with you, having a 0.03% tax, I mean, it's amazing.
Amazing.
And honestly, and one more thing, it even became more complicated. We were talking about staking. So it's also in the eye of the regulators for many countries, is something different. I buy cryptocurrency like Dash, I sell it tomorrow, or I buy it today, I stake it, and then I sell it tomorrow. So it's already a completely different tax model for many of the regulators.
Oh.
You know, so the world is complicated out there with taxes and with crypto.
Okay, I see. Now the difference is quite vary, right? So basically, foreigners outside really depends on staking, yeah. Because if a year long-term investment, they will be charged with tax-free, yeah, dominantly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I want to know about Mr. Felix' opinion about staking, and also, is it the same like other coin organization? Can you explain briefly about the Dash token function also?
Happy to do that. So we are an early Bitcoin fork, and we forked Bitcoin with lots of improvement where we saw shortcomings of Bitcoin. One of them is the proof of work mechanism. That basically says it's an important mechanism to have it as a security feature, essentially in the network. You need nodes, you need miners, and you need validation of transactions. And in order to do that, we give incentives to miners, right? This is the classic concept of Bitcoin. Every 10 minutes a block, and every 10 minutes a block reward, and there's only one winner in Bitcoin. Dash has a different approach, and it's a mixed consensus algorithm between proof of work and what we call proof of service. So proof of service is the second level, a second layer, essentially, where we run something that we call the masternode network. So number one, there is the miners, same like in Bitcoin, who, you know, they do their thing, they validate transactions. On top of that is the masternode network, where, you know, where we can run through transactions, and these are essentially paid paid servers that that contribute certain functions to the network. Validating transactions is one of them. Essentially, now we are even with Dash platform coming out, this masternode network will be used for many other things such as storage and they're paid service computers at the end of the day. And this enables us to make this instant send feature and many other great features within Dash to make it possible, because we have this two-layer approach. So in terms of what does that mean for the distribution of rewards, we have also block rewards, the same like in Bitcoin. In our case, it's not every 10 minutes, it's every 2.5 minutes there is a block reward. But with Dash, the block reward is shared between the miners, the masternodes, and actually also the community, which can put proposals into the DAO system and ask for funding to do operations. So these paid service computers get money, they get rewarded, and I think this is where the staking element in Dash comes from, right? So you can stake via a masternode, and in order to set up a masternode, you need 1,000 Dash to do so.
1,000.
Okay, this is 1,000. This is a lot of money. It's like around, I don't know the price today. I think I'm not sure the price. I didn't check the prices today. Oh my god, let me check. This is like 1,000 Dash. With a price of Dash at, hold on, the market is so up and down, $165. So this is $165,000 for a masternode, right? This is a lot of money. And of course, we have many masternodes, and I'm happy to say we are like over 4,000 masternodes. But again, it's a lot of money for a single person. So this is why many exchanges, and this is exactly what you will do, are offering a staking service where they are kind of coming together and essentially make a shared masternode, right? So where me as a user, I can bring only one Dash and I have a share of this 1,000 Dash masternode, right? And because I get the block rewards, I get essentially an APR on my investment, and this is around 7% with the masternode.
Okay, so the schemes of Dash staking is similar to other coins and tokens, yeah, right? And
Correct.
what the strategy about staking? When do we will deposit some money to be staked, or when we should stop staking?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a good idea to stake. It's a good idea to put your investment eggs in many baskets. So I think the staking option is a very safe one for with Dash over an exchange, because you don't. I mean, what is the alternative? The alternative, I was discussing that yesterday with a friend actually, and I guess the truth about, I mean, staking and yield farming is becoming like kind of interchangeable from the end result. There's many options out there where I can provide a single asset and I put it somewhere and I get interest rate on it. With Dash, obviously, you set up these nodes, which is something that is less of a security risk, let's say, than I throw money into a smart contract on whatever blockchain. Because other things can go wrong, and I would say there's a lot of rug pulls, there's a lot of projects that you don't know who's behind them. So from that perspective, I think staking with a trustable partner that is setting up a masternode for you, or you setting up a masternode for yourself and you're part of this network, is from this security perspective probably the better choice.
Okay, so basically no risk at all from staking. It just
I think it's a good idea.
What foundation, right?
Yes, I think it's generally a good idea. I mean, crypto is at a point in time where it's an opportunity cost for you as an investor if you do not stake and you do not get interest rate on your crypto tokens.
Okay. So what about privacy matters on Dash with the regulator, as you already mentioned in beginning, and has it ever happened on Dash next?
Privacy is a complicated topic, let's say. Dash has started, as a bit more, with a bit more focus on privacy than I think where we are at now. Also because I think the narratives and the times have changed a bit. Also the regulators have come up with different approaches to go around privacy coins. So there's different levels of privacy coins. What Dash has is essentially in our desktop wallet, there is the private send function, and this private send function is based on a mixer tool, which is essentially exactly the same that you would use in Bitcoin or in Ethereum, right? So if you want, you can send your Bitcoin or your Ethereum through a mixer, and out comes a more anonymous coin, right? Because you throw in different transaction and you cannot see who throws in something and who takes out something. Where does it come out? So Dash has that feature in a bit of a, let's say, in the desktop wallet in a bit of a more convenient way. But I would argue that this does not make us a privacy coin, the same as Bitcoin and Ethereum are not a privacy coin, right? Because everybody can use the same technology to enable private transactions, right? So it's very hard to explain this to people outside of blockchain. What is kind of the technical difference between all this. My perspective is simple. We want to be out there. We want to be in the payment space. Obviously, we want to be compliant. I strongly believe you cannot be in the payment space if if every government hates you, you're going to have a hard time. So it's better to comply with the government regulations. And we have always been taking a very proactive approach because, as I just said, it's complicated and it's hard for people to understand out of blockchain. So I think the only chance you have as a project is to go out and start conversations with the regulators. And this is exactly what we have been doing all over the world, partly getting legal statements around that, but it's an ongoing process. And I think regulators will still need a long time to understand crypto.
So basically crypto and blockchain and also Next will have a flexible movement with the government, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. I think we are doing everything right already. This is the point. I strongly believe everything in Dash is in a very compliant manner already. But sometimes you have to re-explain why.
Yeah, this will also continue to the next question. The government will prefer their money to be stored in the saving accounts, right? While Dash on a third-party subscription exchange, and also Dash has its own wallet, Dash wallet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is your preference and your opinion about this matter? Because government in Indonesia, especially, have a regulation about exchange inside the country must use rupiah.
Mm-hmm.
Always, and not foreign at all. Mm-hmm. Foreign currency, I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said right, I guess, not to use Indonesian rupiah, or for me to use Thai baht, and to be here in Thailand or Indonesia, it's always there are laws around it, and it's probably a wise decision for everybody to make sure that you comply, just to avoid a lot of problems that you can have later, right? At the same time, I think nobody can prohibit you to use other wallets that are not on an exchange. The Dash wallet, that is, nobody can prohibit to download it for you from an Apple store or from the internet on your Windows computer. So I think that's the normality that's normal in crypto. And it's more about making you as a user to come up with a good strategy. I think it's also not a good idea to put everything in one place, because if somebody steals your crypto, you have a problem, and it doesn't matter, is it the government or is it a hacker? At the end of the day, if something happens, happens. Yeah. And you as a user will be very, very sad if that is the case. So I think personally it's a good strategy, number one, to to think about security when you are using crypto and to really come up with a strategy for you, which means, what wallets do I use? How do I secure these wallets? What if something goes wrong? Even what if my house starts to burn? Is all my crypto in there? It's going to be bad, right? So, you have to be clever about these things. And this is a good news because, now we have a new way of security, but the bad news is very much on you to make it secure.
Okay. So basically, in one side, this crypto is very real, and in the other side, crypto, especially Dash, is just something value of digital asset that the society will see for now. And I think I must agree that Dash next must penetrate Southeast Asia and also introduce about their digital payment, Dash as digital payment. That's the main objective, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though this year I have spent a lot of time exploring DeFi options. I mean, now, the world of blockchain is getting very complex and it's developing very fast. So what I see as a big trend in 2021 is interoperability, is multiple layer one blockchains, and is services and applications that are more and more becoming cross-chain. And I believe that we as Dash should be part of that. So we are really exploring the possibilities and the technical ways to become interoperable. And this is then beyond payment. It's also a lot about DeFi, financial freedom, be your own bank.
Yeah. Okay. The next question, Mr. Felix. Why Dash has been listed in the first time, and what is the most profitable technology compared to other tokens, besides digital payment and also the value on the market? I mean, is there any specific technology that will be always developed and updated every years, every months?
Mm-hmm.
So it will be our guideline to see how the market moves and also how this technology will be easily adopted by Indonesian user base, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, Ren. It's also a good question. So number one, I think I mentioned it already. It's important to have a coin that has a high liquidity. Also, you want to be sure that there's enough people who want to buy and who want to sell something. Only then you have a liquid market. So I already said, because we are such an old and well-established project, we are listed all over the world at really hundreds of exchanges. Obviously there's trading pairs that are more popular than others. So I would say Dash to USDT and Dash to BTC and Dash to Ethereum are definitely the top 3 trading pairs we have. And we are very strong, especially on the centralized exchanges all over the world. In fact, if you go to dash.org, you will find a list of exchanges, and you can filter also by fiat currency that you want to trade your Dash against. So this is number one, and I think, very happy about that. Number 2, I mentioned already, I think we have this distinct feature on the exchange side, what we call the fast pass. So you can send Dash extremely fast from exchange to exchange. On the usability side, I also mentioned, as a user, it's very convenient to use Dash because cheap, because super fast. So I really hope that, now that we partner up, and the fact that we are having this interview, people seeing this and say, hey, let's try Dash. And I also hope that lots of merchants are seeing this and say, hey, why not accept Dash as a payment? You can go on dash.org. There you will find merchant information there, and it's in fact very, very simple. The most easy way is just to download Dash Wallet, and as soon as you have that, you're able to accept Dash payments from your customers just by showing them a QR code. So it's in fact very, very simple. So what I hope, of course, is that we find a lot of users, that we find a lot of merchants, that we get the acceptance going. And as I explained, now with these examples of instant send, I think it's a very good value proposition. Lastly, you were asking me what does make Dash different and unique, and I mentioned a couple of features. One more I want to mention is that we are the first and longest running DAO in the world, which is a decentralized autonomous organization. Everybody is talking about this now in the blockchain space, but essentially it means it's a company that is predefined on code. So many of the workflows in the Dash DAO are completely automated. And in the core of all this is basically our finance mechanism, where, you know, this is the company funding is coming in every month from the block rewards we distribute to projects, to people, you know, to projects like mine, to projects like DCG, Dash News, Dash Brazil. There's amazing, you know, people and projects in Dash that are really living the DAO. And this is, I have to say, super exciting.
Okay. So you always mention about merchant to accept the digital cash Dash as a payment system. I'm just curious about what is your target merchant and industry? Is it for retail or distributor, or even anything that you will target the market for the real use of Dash in Indonesia?
I mean, the long vision is to be everywhere, as I mentioned at the beginning, to be accepted everywhere, but you have to start somewhere. So I think we have done a great job in terms of retail, in terms of travel, in terms of gambling, gaming, hotels, flights, everything. Yeah, in terms of gaming and gambling. And I think now gaming is actually probably a very, very good choice, because, you know, you have young people who are kind of already crypto native. They understand it very well. They know the use of it and the value of it. So I think this is something good to double down on. And I think there is where you have to go with the trend. At the end of the day, you know, we want to give value and make it easy for people. So I think if you can provide that, you can be successful.
Okay, so like Chainlink, they have insurance, and Matic, they also penetrate on travel or insurance. I forget about it. And Dash will be penetrating for finance, like banks and also travel, and also hotels and gaming. And as I already know that gaming is from Polkadot side, they already told me about they also accept gaming function. And so what makes Dash more special beside of everything that has been mentioned?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think I mentioned a lot already.
Yeah, because there is a similarity around so many coins, right?
You're right. Okay, so let me summarize a couple of things. Number one, we are a very well-established project. You know, we are not a new dream that is about to start. We have already done years of work, and we have established a huge ecosystem of merchants and of users all around the world. So I think this is a very distinct and strong feature. Number two, on the technical side and on the side of features, I think the value proposition is very good, because again, we are super fast and we are super cheap. So the use case we want is like very good. Number three is we are a very unique form of organization that is extremely open and inclusive for everybody, because we are a DAO. That means everybody in the world has the most easy way to engage with us and to fund their ideas, to come in with ideas, say, I can do this, and, you know, I get rewarded for that. So I think these three elements combined actually make Dash still a very unique project, and, you know, a project worth looking into.
I'm a little bit worried in Indonesia because digital payment has so many competitors right now, and it is a promising business. and it is a good investment for big companies or so many government company to invest in digital payment for Southeast Asia, especially Indonesia and Singapore. And also, if this doesn't have any differentiation penetration of using this digital payment, it will be very difficult, right? Because I'm curious about Dasnext in Southeast Asia has its own base on Thailand, and I just want to know how about the movement of partnership, marketing, and community on Dasnext, and also business development in Asia for the next quarter and yearly.
Yeah, I guess the fact that we are talking it makes me very happy, and we found a cool partnership here. So I'm very, very excited to get this going. And I think this is what it boils down to, business development and making these things happen. I have come to realize it's very much about opening many doors, and some of them will close with the partnership. So I guess this is the approach we have been taking. Also, as I mentioned before, it's a lot about the personal network you have. So the fact that I'm speaking all over the place in Asia and all over the world kind of has always brought in a lot of cool opportunities to find new partners and to really make things happen. So I think this is a good strategy, and we will keep on going with that. So every quarter and every year there has been lots of integrations, partnerships, events that we speak in changing varieties. So that's I'm very happy with where it goes already.
Okay, basically this AMA session is really curious about how Dasnext will be penetrate Southeast Asia, because if it is really has been distributed very smooth, maybe Dash will have more value and promising development, and people in Asia, Asian people will also see this as one opportunity that will make so many benefits from technology, and also from the market, and also from the utilities, I guess, and from the security side also has no problem at all. And about privacy, it just depends on the regulator on Indonesia, especially. I don't know about the rest of the area of Southeast Asia. Maybe around Cambodia, or even Sri Lanka. Okay, overall, there is so many questions still lying on my papers, but the times, I guess it is already almost 1 hour. Is there anything you want to add more, Mr. Felix?
You really covered a lot of ground, and I appreciate the fantastic question. Thank you very much. As I mentioned, I'm also very much focused on the DeFi movement and to bring us in. I wish I already had more news, but there's a lot in the pipeline, and a lot of dependencies, because as you can imagine, it's a very complicated thing. You have to bring in many pieces together to then come out with a solution. So I hope to. This is number one, not our last AMA, and we will have another chance to speak soon in the future. And let's tackle it together. The Southeast Asian market, activate the Indonesian community. I'm excited to have you on board as a partner. It's I highly appreciate that. So let's see what we can do together. And I thank you everybody for watching. If you want to reach out to me, you can do that on Twitter, Felix Mago, or on LinkedIn, Felix Mago, Mago.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Felix. Thank you, my friends all. We will launch our next webinar maybe around next month. So stay tuned on Triv, and also Triv Indo at Instagram, and Triv Indonesia on YouTube. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Thanks for having me. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Felix.
Thank you so much.